My name's Phil Robinson, and my company is Paint Town Green. We're a painting and decorating company based in Wandsworth. I would describe the business as being established, inefficient, and slightly stagnant. And I describe myself very similarly. Now, I describe myself quite drained, slightly at a junction of uncertainty, and a bit lost, I suppose. I decided I wanted to work with a coach because I knew I wanted my business to do well and I wanted it to succeed, but I just didn't know what that meant. And I felt I'd taken things as far as I could with my skill set. I'd hit a glass ceiling. I thought, show me the nail, give me the hammer, and I'll hit it as hard as I need to over and over again. But I just didn't know where the nail was and didn't have a hammer, basically. I'd say in a nutshell, it's that very, very basic thing that we talk about is identifying the difference between working in the business and working on the business. And I think before we started working together, I was just working in the business all the time. And I wasn't seeing the business as a thing that I control. I guess if I'm honest, I was seeing it as a thing that was controlling me. And I was just kind of a functioning cog in it. Whereas I think now we got this idea that the business is a machine that just needs feeding and tweaking and correcting, and it's got all these parts. And my job is to construct those parts, put them together, make sure that each one is working to its maximum efficiency. Choose the best parts I can, and then just make sure that they're doing their part in that machine. And that's been a big shift in mindset in itself. My job is guiding and steering and looking after the different parts of the machine, but it's being not actually a working cog in it. It's the kind of machine keeper, as it were. Okay. So I think a big thing that's jumped out about the team is before we started working together, I just saw things very much as I would interact with the customer would interact with me, and that would be the kind of two-way thing. I do something for the customer, they then give me money in return. Whereas now, I think the biggest sort of role that a company owner has is to take care of their team, look after their team, select their team very wisely, and then look after them. And then the team's job is then to look after the clients, and the clients look after the company, and the company looks after me. So it becomes a four station circle rather than just a two-way street. So that's the thing that's really clicked with me, that staff are key. And how well I look after them determines how well they then look after the clients. And the whole thing just becomes a very smooth circle that kind of squares itself, to coin a phrase. It's the two fears of any business owner that's trying to change stuff. Change is quite scary at the best of times. We all find change scary. We all have our comfort zone that we like to live in. And the most common fear of a business owner is that he's going to go bust. And as soon as a business owner starts trying to grow his business, the next most common fear is that he's going to be overwhelmed by work. He's going to let everybody down. And I think the way that having a great team addresses that is that actually they solve both those problems. It becomes a problem you can draw the answer to. Are we going to go bust? It's becoming increasingly or decreasingly likely we're going to go bust because I've employed a great head of marketing who's running my marketing department, and her job is to make sure we don't go bust because she keeps this flow of work coming in. And so it goes the other end of the extreme, and that fear that we're going to get overwhelmed. Well, I've got an absolutely awesome HR head of recruitment person whose job it is to find cool A-star superstar people at the drop of a hat when we need them. So if we do get a sudden flow of work, it's exciting. It's not overwhelming anymore. It's exciting because it gives her a chance to really spread her wings and do her thing, find more people for us. So it's getting great people clearly instructed and fixing the problem as a concern, because I think most fears or concerns that a business owner have can be distilled down to a challenge that needs a solution. And the solution to going bust is having an awesome marketing department and an awesome service. And the solution to becoming overwhelmed is having coping mechanisms, which include an awesome person who can recruit for you. So every time you hire another person, that's one more person whose role it is to make sure the company doesn't go bust and to kick and pedal harder on your, or rather on the company's behalf, to keep it afloat. So it's a double-sided coin. And the more people you have who are awesome at what they do, pedaling hard to keep the company growing, you could very easily argue the less chance that you're actually going to go bust. So it turns, again, that negative thing of big salary bill on its head and goes, well, actually, that's more people fighting for the survival and flourishing of the company.
Yeah.
The best thing and the worst thing about being coached are the same thing. And they are that you've always got someone there just giving you a little tap with a whip to keep you honest, to keep you true, and keep you doing what you said you were going to do. So always retrospectively, it's awesome because you think, wow, I said 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I would do this. And working with Tim has kept me on that journey and kept me doing that. In the shorter term, when you can't really be asked to do it, it's good because, you know, it's that difference between what you feel like doing and what you want to do. And your coach keeps you doing what you want to do, which isn't always what you immediately feel like doing, but it's always what you're pleased you did afterwards. Structured, challenging, clever, I guess. It's a very clever thing to be able to break down what makes businesses work and present it in a teachable form. So how would I describe you? Inquisitive, wise, I guess dependable. You always sort of shine a light at something from a different angle, from the angle that I might be looking at it from. And more often than not, in doing so, show me where the answer is. And if you don't, you then come back and another time and shine the light from a different angle again, which is a very impressive quality. And I think it just comes from doing a lot of research and a lot of reading, just knowing what you're doing, basically. The thing I'm most proud of is the team I've got. I think without a doubt, because I look forward to speaking to them. I look forward to seeing them. It's like we haven't been able to get together as a group at all for the last year for obvious reasons, but it's just such an awesome bunch of people. And every time I speak to them about the business and plans, it just really excites me, and I get a real buzz from their excitement. And that's the thing, you know, when I see them, even when we're together on a Zoom call, and people are just saying awesome things, I just think, wow, what a cool team I've got. That's definitely to date what I'm most proud of with the company. Yeah, 100%. With the people I got working with me now, and if I, you know, just keep growing like this, just think, holy crap, where are we going to be in 5 years' time?
Yeah,
So it's a buzz.